What's up, witches? How we doing? Come on in the building. Welcome to the weekly refuel. If this is your first time here, the weekly refuel is my live group coaching session for spiritual and wellness practitioners that are looking to start or level up their businesses. I am a firm believer that spiritual work is work and that you should be getting paid. And if you haven't quite figured out how to do that, or if you're doing that but haven't quite figured out how to perhaps replace your 9 to 5 or grow your practice into the business you'd like it to be, then you are in the right place. If you're wondering who I am Ali Kravitz. I'm known as the Bronx Witch, and I am the founder of Witchwork, which is a co-working space for spiritual and wellness practitioners, the only one like it in New York City. We are here right now broadcasting live from the Relax Room. And I'm also the CEO of BetterWitch Coaching, which is a class and coaching platform for spiritual entrepreneurs. I teach classes on spirituality, magic, and of course, entrepreneurship. I'm also tuned in and streaming into The Bunker, which is my private virtual membership space for witchpreneurs who are really serious about growing their businesses. In The Bunker, you get weekly group coaching, access to all of the other witches so that you can grow your community of entrepreneurial besties and resources. I'm always sharing new information about funding opportunities, educational opportunities, summits and events, retreats, etc. So it's definitely the place to be. And you can join The Bunker for free for the first 7 days. So you can come in, check it out, and see if it's the right place for you. Right now, I am streaming into the Bunker meeting room. The Bunker has a discussion feed as well as several interactive rooms where we get to hang out, co-work together. It's where I teach my classes. It's where I take my meetings and sessions with all of the Better Witches that are having one-on-one sessions with me. And it's powered by Go Brunch. And I'm really excited to be a partner with them to create some really dynamic and interactive rooms that allow us to connect with each other in a way that is like really, really engaging. If you've ever been in a Facebook group or if you've ever joined other business virtual networking groups, they're usually pretty boring, if I can be honest. And Go Brunch is allowing us to connect with each other in a way that is fun and engaging and interactive. So all of the Bunker Witches that are behind the scenes right now, I will be hanging out with you all after this presentation for Q&A. So if you have individual questions you want to ask about your business and your entrepreneurial journey, I will be taking those right after we finish talking to YouTube. If you're tuning in on YouTube and you want to join us in the Bunker, the link to do so is in the description. And I encourage you to take advantage of it because, like I said, it's free to join. You can get to know us, get to know the space, and decide if it is right for you. So YouTube, you are being treated right now to basically a sneak peek, a window into the topics that we talk about in the Bunker. And today I wanted to focus on resting and playing and how that plays into the success of your business. All this month of June, I have been focusing on the topic of sacred scheduling, okay? Time blocking and organizing your calendar is one of the first things that I do with any of the Better Witches that enroll in my business programs. Because the truth of the matter is, if you are the type of person that doesn't have a calendar, I am really sorry to tell you, the business thing is not going to work out. I know. Oh my gosh. We're spiritual. We work on spirit's time. We get there when we get there and we do that. No, wrong. Sorry. I don't buy into that BS over here. That has not been my experience. And I've never seen anyone, whether they're growing a spiritual business or a non-spiritual business, get anywhere without having some type of order and structure to their lives, to their weeks, to their days. Okay? Sorry. If you thought going into spiritual entrepreneurship was going to be the road you could take where you would like just wake up whenever and float through the day and money would just flow into your bank accounts, clients would just line up to meet with you, customers would just want to buy your candles and teas and they'd be flying off the shelves, that is just not the case over here. All right. So I need you to let go of that. All right. Building a spiritual business is both a spiritual process and a business process. And you have to have a certain level of professionalism and structure to your life for your business to function properly. Your business is an extension of you. The analogy that I use with all the Better Witches is that this is a baby that you are birthing. Okay. You are literally cultivating and nurturing a seed within yourself that you are hopefully going to nourish long enough and well enough that it grows into an entity that you can share with the world and then potentially walk on its own 2 feet in a way that is kind of independent of you. And that's where we get to the level of freedom that all of us want. Most of us pursue entrepreneurship because we want a certain level of freedom in our lives, freedom to spend our time the way we want, freedom to live where we want, freedom to be able to feed ourselves, clothe ourselves, house ourselves and our families the way that we want. And that freedom comes when you have nurtured your business baby into a being that can stand on its own 2 feet and not need you to do every single thing for it. And if you're ever going to get to that place, then you also have to have that level of structure and independence for yourself. You have to be able to create a calendar that doesn't require someone else telling you, be here at this time, be here at this time, be here at this time. Right? Folks who work 9 to 5s, they're told where to be and when. All of that is done for them. Entrepreneurs have to create that for themselves. And you have to be the type of person who can wrap your head around that and put things in place so that your day, your week, etc., is created by you. All right. So creating a calendar is one of the first things that we do together when you work with me one-on-one. And I would say, in addition to that, your calendar isn't just based, or a really successful calendar isn't just based on where do I need to be or what days or times do I want to work on my business. I have learned in my experience of growing my businesses over the last 5 or 6 years that when I include my own spiritual practices and what I know about myself as a spiritual being into my calendar becomes a rock star calendar. Like, I cannot tell you how much my life has changed. Like, I thought I was good back in the day because I've been a calendar person forever, right? I came up through academia. I went to private school. I went to law school. I was in corporate for a while. I spent 15 years in hospitality in New York. I would make schedules for staff members, staffs as big as 25 people. So calendars are not foreign to me. I've always had a planner, a calendar, multiple planners, calendars. That's always been my style. But it's only been in the last year or so that I have started making a calendar that is spiritually aligned with me. And like, the difference is, it's mind-boggling. Like, I am not the same person that I was this time last year. Okay. So we've been talking about spiritual scheduling this month. And today I am focusing on the importance of play and rest in your schedule. And we have to talk about this because play and rest are often the first 2 things that spiritual entrepreneurs cross off their calendar when they start building their businesses. The focus becomes, I got to work my job to continue to pay my bills. I've got to take care of my family and the people that need me the most. And I've got to work on my business. Those become the three most important things. And socializing, having hobbies, interests, activities, and resting often go by the wayside. And you might think that you need to do that in order to fill up all of your quote unquote free time with working on your business. And I thought that too. All the way up until August of last year, that is how I was approaching my life. Anytime I was not here at Witchwork, which is my job, then I was taking care of myself to the best of my ability, being there for my family to the best of my ability because I have to. And then any other time that I had was spent exclusively working on my business. There was no fun. There was no play. There was very little rest. I typically would come home from Witchwork, eat dinner, shower, and then go to bed and then be, I would go to eat dinner, shower, get back to work, and then go to bed. So I'd be up until like 3 or 4, sometimes beyond that in the morning. And then I would sleep for a few hours and then be up again to get back here to open up. There were many, many, many nights where I did all-nighters. I would just stay up all the way through the night to work on editing videos, creating campaigns, whatever it was, and then come right back here. There were even nights where I slept here at Witchwork because that was easier than going home, packing up all of my things, unpacking when I got home, and all of that stuff. And I really thought that I was doing what I needed to do to grow my business. I really thought this is what it takes. This is the level of sacrifice you have to be willing to make. People growing their businesses, they don't sleep. They don't have friends. They don't have relationships. They don't have, romantic partners. They give all of that up and they pour themselves into their businesses. And that's what I'm going to have to do. I was totally wrong about that, but I didn't know that at the time. Okay. And I did make progress in my business, obviously, but the harm that I was doing to myself was immense. And what I didn't understand was that as long as I was harming myself, I was harming my business. Why? Because like I said, your business is that baby, that entity, that seed that you have planted within yourself. It is not independent of you yet, which means your health is your business's health. So there's no version of the story where you can harm yourself and your business be okay. Any harm you are doing to yourself, you are doing to your business. Anything good you are doing to yourself or for yourself, you are doing to your business. And I wasn't seeing that. I really wasn't seeing that. I wasn't understanding why there were areas of my business that weren't doing well. And I didn't see how that was connected to how I was not doing well, how I was not resting. I was not taking care of myself. I was not cultivating my relationships. I was not enjoying my life. I wasn't doing things I really love to do, like going out to eat, going out to dance, or traveling. I didn't see that connection. Shout out to my really, really good friend, Perrin, who is the founder of The Bronx is Beautiful, a local business here that focuses on Bronx history and tourism. And we became really close during my preparations for the first annual staycation retreat. I was looking for a place in the Bronx that would allow us to connect with nature without having to travel too far from Witchwork. And I was looking for someone to help me to navigate through like the natural grounds of the Bronx and the history of it. And of course, as Spirit always does, they sent me my friend Perrin, who showed up one day, literally out of nowhere, and was like, "Hey, I found you online. I do tours around the Bronx and I specialize in history. I would love to show you some of the natural grounds and the parks department spaces that you might not know about." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I am looking for a place to start hosting retreats here in the Bronx, and I need someone to show me where I could do that." So Perrin became indispensable in terms of our first staycation retreats, leading our nature hikes through the Hunter Island area that we hike through. And we became really close. And Perrin said something to me last year around my birthday. He was like, "Girl, you got to get out of this office. You have to get out of this office." And I was like, "Thanks. I love you, but I don't see how that could be possible," right? I'm my only employee. I have shop witches that are independently contracted, but I'm the only full-time employee. I'm the cleaning lady, I'm the marketing department, I am everything, and I have to be here. I have to be here during our operating hours. I don't want to have inconsistent hours. I don't want people to show up and not, us not be open. So I have to be here. And he was like, "No, I don't think you get it. Yes, you are running this space, but you are depleting yourself. You should be out in the world telling everybody about Witchwork, about how incredible it is, about everything that you offer. And you don't have the time or energy to do that because you have cut off all other parts of your own life. And you are not vibrating, you are not glowing, you are not radiating with energy and excitement the way that you could be." So Perrin did something unbelievably generous and kind for me, something like no one has ever done for me. For my birthday, he booked me an overnight stay at one of my favorite hotels in Harlem. And it's not only a hotel, it also has a restaurant attached to it that is a fantastic restaurant. But it isn't just a place to eat, it is a place where a lot of movers and shakers, other entrepreneurs and social change agents in the Harlem area go to network and connect with each other. He was like, "You have to spend time in places like this, and I know that you are not going to do it for yourself, so I am going to make it happen." And he booked me a hotel room for the night for my birthday. I loved it my first night so much. I went and booked myself a second night and stayed for the whole weekend. And I am so glad that I did. Just in those 2 days, the connections that I made, phenomenal, but also the way it poured into my spirit was huge. I love a hotel. Not everybody does. I love hotels. I just really enjoy them. They just do something for me. I really like being in a place where I don't have my whole home around me, so I can't be consumed with, I have to clean this and I need to do that. You've got like a coffee machine and a microwave and a bathroom and a bed and a TV. That's it. And it hotels always give me so much clarity because you don't have your whole life right in front of your face to like take up your time and energy and distract you. So I find them great places to write and to, think of creative projects and to just get lots of clarity. So I love hotels. And the experience of being there for the weekend was unbelievable. The ideas that I had, the inspiration that I got a whole bunch of writing done that weekend. And I just really reinvigorated my interest in the things that I love, which, like I said, are going out, eating out, dancing, socializing. I got to do that weekend. And it reminded me of how important those things are to my overall well being. The question is, though, when you are partying, when you are resting, when you are socializing, when you are engaging in the things that you like, your hobbies, your creative pursuits, how do you do those things in a way that actually benefits your business? Because I think the misconception or what people imagine is that if I'm sleeping, 8 hours a night, if I'm going out with my friends on the weekends, if I'm spending my evenings dining and, partying, when am I working on my business? And that's a great question. So, what I want to break down for you is how to socialize and rest in a way that is working on your business rather than taking away from it. 3 things I want to talk about. First of all, is socializing with intention, or partying with power, as I like to call it. Usually, when we socialize, we completely leave our professional pursuits at the door. And we go into social environments in order to escape from our lives and escape from the work that we do. Instead of doing that, what I want you to do is to start socializing with your professional goals in mind. So first of all, this might look like changing the places that you go to socialize. Rather than going out to the club, you might now start socializing at networking events, community events that are hosted by industry representatives or businesses that are connected to your industry. So rather than going to the club on a Saturday night, is the wellness center in your city or town hosting some type of an event that you can go to? Are one of the, local yoga instructors or spiritual enthusiasts having some type of a ceremony or a gathering? You want to replace socializing for the point of escaping from your life with socializing that aligns you with what you're trying to create from your life. So you can turn up and have a great time at a lot of events. I recently went to a gala that was a 40th anniversary gala for my middle school, the middle school that I attended. And it was at a hotel rooftop in Times Square. There was an open bar. There was a DJ. We were on the dance floor till 11 o'clock at night. Like, we were partying. We were having a great time. But in that room were federal judges, folks who sit on the executive boards of several schools in the area, potential investors, and a whole bunch of alumni that have, connections all over the city and career paths that might line up with my goals. So I'm partying, I'm getting down, I'm having a great time, I'm having maybe one too many glasses of wine, but I'm doing it in a space where the conversations that I'm going to have and the people that I am connecting to are going to further my goals as an entrepreneur instead of take away from them. Okay? So use that as an example and get intentional about your socializing. You might also need to shift who you're socializing with. What comes along with that is surrounding yourself with people who also see the value in these types of gatherings. If the folks that you socialize with are not willing to not go to the club and instead go to a gala event, then those may not those may not be the people that you want to keep around you. They may not be in alignment anymore with where you're going. So just a side note about that. But the most important thing is to shift how you socialize, and rather than partying randomly, be intentional with it and find social events that allow you to make valuable connections. So that if you spend an evening out having a drink and dancing on the dance floor, you are not actually taking away from your progress in your business. You're actually contributing to it. Okay. Number two, right? So socializing and being intentional about how you socialize is number one. Let yourself party, absolutely, but do it in a way that furthers your business goals instead of takes away from it. Two is understanding that fun equals funds. Okay, you cannot spell funds without fun, which is corny, but it is true. And what I mean by that is two things. One, if you've ever wondered to yourself why it seems like wealthy folks are often hanging out, throwing events on the golf course, shopping, etc., with folks that they want to hang out with, like why does it seem like there's such a social aspect? It's not just because having financial freedom allows you to socialize. That's true. It's also because the most meaningful relationships that you are going to build with people are the relationships that you build in social settings. It's true. Networking events are great, but when you attend those, everyone is a bit more, buttoned up, and you're going to get to see the more curated and polished version of everyone in the room. When you want to partner with someone on a project, when you need to trust somebody that they're going to show up and work just as hard as you are, when you want to know what someone's values are, where they stand on certain issues, politically or socially, you're not going to get that information from them in these types of environments, right? You're not going to get to the nitty gritty and the truth about a person's character, who they are, and what they're all about in these types of environments. You're going to meet them, you'll get their contact information. Networking events are great. But the way that you really get to know people is in social settings. When people can let their hair down and be themselves, that's when you see what people are really all about. This is where the real relationships are built, right? They're not built in the boardroom. They're not built at the networking event. They're built on the golf course. They're built on vacation. They're built at the gala. They're built in spaces where people can really show their true colors without consequence. And you can show your true colors without consequence. And what happens is people walk away with a much better impression of who you are as a person, and you become a part of their lives and the experiences that they've had. When they think about the last time that they had fun, they're going to remember that you were a part of that. So those types of relationships tend to go farther and tend to really pay off more than the more forced and buttoned up relationships we might establish, and like superficial relationships we might establish in quote unquote networking environments. So having fun intentionally with people who are like-minded, with people who have similar visions, with people who have similar drive and ambitions are going to allow you to walk away with those business besties, right? And I know that that's like a big thing that everyone is looking for. I am, but also I see that online a lot. I cannot tell you, every day on Threads, all the time, I'm seeing people, I want a business bestie. I'm looking for other entrepreneurs to connect with. I am so alone. This is how you solve that. This is how you make business besties, right? Not at the networking event. That's where you make business connections. At the intentional social gatherings, that's where you make business besties, people that you can actually collaborate and build things with. So fun equals funds. The other thing to keep in mind, the other way that having fun benefits your spiritual or wellness business is because people want to go where the fun is. People drop so much money on vacations and fun experiences. So people want to have fun. So from a marketing perspective, okay? Hey, folks. Happy summer solstice. From a marketing perspective, having fun is going to bring more people into your services, to your products, to your membership groups than anything else. When people see you growing your business and you seem miserable about it, you seem exhausted in your content, you seem tired and worn down, you've been wearing the same t-shirt for the last 3 days, you couldn't be bothered to brush your hair today, that doesn't look like fun. I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to get spiritual candles from the witch that's miserable. I don't want to get a tarot reading from the witch that seems like she doesn't even want to be there because she's so exhausted. Who wants that? Nobody wants that, right? So when you are having fun in your life and you document that and you show it to the world, you don't even ever have to pitch your services or your products. People are going to look at your life and say, I want that. I want that. I want to be having fun like that. I want to be able to travel, or I want to be able to go out, or I want to have a certain type of friend in my network. When they see you doing it, they want that for themselves. And that's when people go from just watching you to actually paying for your services and your products. Nothing converts more than transformation. That's what everybody is looking for. Okay. People are not going to get a reading from you to support you. Why? Who are you? Are you a charity? Why am I supporting you? People are going to come and get a reading from you if they know that reading is going to change their lives, solve a problem for them, answer a question that they can't get the answers to anywhere else. So when people see you living your best life as a result of the practices that you are offering to them, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. So having fun is actually a part of your marketing strategy. And if all you do is go to work, eat, sleep, work on your business, and struggle, don't nobody want to be a part of that, right? If you haven't used your spiritual gifts in order to bring fun and freedom into your life, then how are you supposed to do it for me? Why would your products or services do that for me if it's not doing it for you? So you become a walking testimonial for all of the things that you offer by having fun and letting people see that part of your life. Okay? So fun equals funds. Remember that. Write it down. You can't spell funds without fun. And when you are socializing with intention, you are going to make real, lasting connections with people who want to build with you and see the value in what you offer. Yes, I see the bunker witches dropping funds equal fun. And it's going to literally create a ton of marketing content that is actually effective and that actually converts watchers and followers and the looky-loos into clients and customers. So fun is strategic if you do it right. It doesn't take away from your business. It actually helps you to grow your business. And finally, number 3, resting for real. Resting for real. And this is a big one because of the things that I've mentioned. Rest is like the first thing to go out of the window when spiritual and wellness practitioners start to build their businesses. You're working during the day on your 9 to 5. You haven't built your business to a point yet where you can afford to leave it. So the free time that you have outside of work becomes filled with working on your spiritual business. The first thing that gets sacrificed is sleep, is rest. And that's a huge problem because, like I said, your business is growing inside of you like a baby. It is only going to be as healthy as you are. And if you are sleep deprived, if your nervous system is shot to shit because you're not resting and recharging, your business is going to be the same way. It's going to be exhausted. It's going to be run down. Everything you create, every piece of content, every email you write, every service you deliver, every product you make is going to be mediocre because it's going to be tired because you are. Sleep and rest are not the same things. So one, we need to be getting sleep, period, point blank. I made this mistake for the longest time. Like I told you a year ago in August on my birthday, everything changed for me. I slept so many hours in that hotel room and I caught up on a lot of much needed sleep. And ever since then, I have been adjusting my sleep schedule and moving away from this ridiculous cycle that I was in of being up until 3, 4 o'clock in the morning or even all night long, and then expecting myself to be able to produce and be productive and be kind and patient. When you are tired, when you have not gotten enough sleep, you are going to be nasty to people, to the very same people that you want to be your customers and clients. You're going to be short. You're going to be snippy. You're not going to be able to be patient with them and pour into them because you're going to be exhausted and depleted. So sleep is critical. It is not to be slept on, no pun intended. It is not to be ignored. You need to be getting a healthy amount of sleep every single night. Consistent, thorough sleep. But know that sleep is not the same as rest, and you need that too. Your sleep needs to be restful, and there also needs to be rest in your life at times when you are not sleeping. So what does this look like? This looks like creating a routine for yourself that includes a decent amount of sleep hours. And for all of us, it's different. I've been playing around with mine and I'm learning that between 6 and 7 hours of sleep is perfect for me every night. And if I get that consistently over time, then it's easier for me to be fully rested on 6 hours. But no matter how consistent I am, anything less than 6 hours is not going to truly recharge me. So for all of you, it will be different. Okay. How can you figure out how much sleep you need? I have found that our spiritual practices actually really help with this. And I've been using my human design and my human design chart to help me determine how much sleep I need. And it was actually my human design that helped me learn that I needed to be sleeping from midnight to 7:30 or 1 a.m. to 7:30. Okay. But it doesn't have to be your human design. You might look at your birth chart. You might consult with your spirit guides. You might meditate on this idea. Your spiritual practices that you engage in and that you teach to other people hold the key to figuring out what's going to be right for you as well. So the same way a client or customer might say, hey, I'm struggling with my sleep. I don't know when I should be getting up. I don't know how much hours of sleep I need. And you might turn to herbal knowledge, astrological knowledge, human design knowledge, etc., in order to determine that for them. Do the same thing for yourself. Apply the same principles to yourself to come up with a sleep schedule that really works for you. And then make sure that you're getting that consistently and that is a part of your schedule, your calendar, that you put it on the calendar the same way you put picking up the kids or getting the laundry or working on your business for 3 hours, making a video, etc. Your sleep should be on your schedule. And then be consistent and stick to it. If you need to set an alarm or notifications, do that. If you need to use the features of your phone, do that. Okay. Shout out to Sam Garcia, the author of Regenerative Business, who is on the BetterWitch podcast. She told me about an app called Freedom. This is not a plug for Freedom. They don't sponsor me. So, take it, leave it, look for alternatives. You do have to pay for it, but I found it to be well worth it because my phone, if you have an iPhone, you have a feature called screen time that you can turn on, and it will turn off your ability to see certain apps at certain times of the day. The problem with screen time is it's really easy to turn off. And what was happening for me was, even though I had my screen time set up, when it would pop up and say, okay, it's time to get off of Instagram now, I would just be like, okay, dismiss. And I'd get back to what I was doing. Freedom is an app that actually locks your apps, including your contact apps. So your text messages, FaceTime, your phone calls. You get to program it how you want, but it can basically shut down all of the apps on your phone and lock them. You can't just hit dismiss. You would have to actually go into the app and reconfigure how it's set up. And it has been, oh my gosh, helping me so freaking much. So whatever you need to do in order to be consistent with that sleep schedule, then do that, but become consistent with it. And then, like I said, sleep is not rest. Rest is a little bit different. Rest can be sleeping, but it doesn't have to be. You don't have to be asleep to be resting. Resting is more of a state of being than a physical condition. Resting is the act of being disconnected from all of the things that cause stress to your nervous system. So you might be wide awake, but if you have disconnected from the things that stress your nervous system, like social media, that's probably the biggest one for all of us, phone calls from, maybe stressful family members, friends, television, the things that are on TV, the news, etc. When you disconnect from the things that cause stress to your nervous system, you are in a state of rest. So rest during your day might look like an hour or two of rest time before you go to sleep, where you disconnect from social media, you disconnect from the TV, you put your phone on do not disturb and don't allow folks to call you late at night with whatever their personal issues are. It might look like putting on brown noise or white noise or binaural beats, something that is designed to actually relax your nervous system. It might look like taking certain supplements. Recently, I've been taking magnesium and evening primrose oil, and I have been loving how it puts me into a relaxed state before I even get into my bed. You might incorporate rest time in the mornings. I found out by looking at my human design that I am someone that thrives if I have an extended period of time in the morning to rest and ease into my day. So I'm not asleep, I'm awake, but I'm still in a state of rest because my phone is still on do not disturb. I'm not checking social media. I'm not starting my day with, oh my God, this scary thing is happening. Oh my God, this new law just passed. Oh my God, my life is going to get harder because of this thing. Oh my God, this person needs me. I'm giving myself, I get up at 7:30 and my phone is not programmed to let me check messages or get on social media until 9 a.m. Can't do it. Okay. So for an hour and a half, I'm resting, but I'm also making progress in my day. I'm eating breakfast. I'm getting dressed. I'm looking at my calendar and giving myself a refresh of what my meetings for the day are going to be. I'm praying. I'm meditating. I'm washing the dishes from the night before. I'm tidying up. I'm making my lunch for the day, etc. So I'm making progress in my life, and I'm making progress that impacts my business and how I'm going to show up in my business. I am awake, but I am still in a state of rest. So sleep, critical. You must be getting it. Get consistent and use your spiritual practices to help you determine how much sleep you need and what hours of the night you should be sleeping. Then there's rest, which is not the same as sleep. It's important to make sure that you incorporate into your schedule, aside from your sleep time, rest time. And if you are scrolling on social media, if you're watching the news, if you're on the phone with somebody who needs you to help them with something, or wants to vent about the problems going on in their lives, you are not resting. And that is making you less capable of nourishing your business, being there for your community. Got it? So resting with intention, playing with power looks like socializing intentionally, turning your random partying that you use to escape from your life into intentional partying, where you go to events and surround yourself with people that allow you to build and want to build with you, inspire you, etc. It looks like recognizing that fun equals funds, that you will do better in your business when you are building social relationships with people who are like-minded, and that the best marketing that you can have for yourself is you living your best life and documenting and showing that. So if you're not living your best life, then you're missing out on the best type of marketing material you could have. And it looks like resting and sleeping with intention. Got it? Good. All right. It is time for me to head back into the bunker hangout room to remind all of you over here on YouTube, you can be a part of this room. You can be a part of this community, and you can do it for free for the first 7 days. So check the description of this video. You're going to see the link to join us in the bunker. The bunker is my private virtual membership space for witchpreneurs who are serious about growing their businesses. In the bunker, you have a community of other serious witchpreneurs that you can connect with. We have live group coaching. I'm about to jump in right now to answer their questions and help them with their specific business issues. Every full moon, I give them business tarot readings. So we bring the spiritual and the business together in our tea and tarots every full moon. I am always dropping resources. Just this week, I dropped a competition where you can build your business plan and learn $13,000. I dropped $10 tickets to the upcoming Instagram by ManyChat Summit. It's usually a $69 ticket, but I dropped $10 tickets into the feed. I shared information about an upcoming award show for micro and nano YouTube influencers. So if you have a teeny tiny YouTube page, you could win awards for your videos from this new award, the Helen Keller Award that is out there. Like, I'm always dropping resources in this space. So it's a space that you definitely want to be a part of. Plus, we have these really super cool and interactive hangout rooms created for us by Go Brunch, a platform for 24-hour virtual co-working and education. So it's the place to be. All right. Check out the link in the description. Join the bunker. It's free for the first 7 days. Take a look around, say what's up, see if it's the place for you. And then if it's not, you can peace out. No risk, no harm, no foul. I don't take it personally, but I think you're going to want to stick around. All right, witches, it's time for me to go and chat in the bunker. For those of you who are on YouTube, definitely make sure to like this video if you found it helpful. Make sure to subscribe to this channel if you want to get access to education on entrepreneurship on a regular basis. I'm dropping I'm dropping videos just about every week. And if you don't want to miss out on those, then definitely make sure to click the bell button so that you're notified every time a new video comes out. Otherwise, I will see all of you later. If you need to get in touch with me, all of my links are in the description of this video. Happy summer solstice, everybody. Blessed be.